Hello, good day, good evening from wherever you're joining me. This is Choma Odikulu. You're all welcome to. Okay, all right, just a few minutes, please. All right, you're all welcome to our weekly review today. You're welcome. My name is Choma Odikulu. You're welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I really do appreciate your time and I do not take your time for granted. So please drop a comment if you're here live with us today. Just say hello, say hi. Let's know you're here. Just drop a comments. All right, so we'll move straight into our conversation of today. So today we're going to be discussing how our thoughts create the emotional climate in our home. Yes, our thoughts, how our thoughts affects the emotional climate in our home, because our thought is very important. So we're going to be discussing how does our thought as parents, most especially, affect the emotional climate of our home. Now, as parents, we must understand that our mindsets, the mindset we have, creates the emotional atmosphere in our homes. The mindset we have on a daily basis, the mindset we have, and maybe the way we react to the things done by our children, the mindset we have has a way of affecting the stability of the home, has a way of affecting the atmosphere of our home. And it has a way of shifting our thoughts, because when we have a positive mindset, we have a more peaceful family life. And when we have a negative mindset, it's going to be the other way. So as parents, we are told, or we are reminded today, that our mindset affects the stability or the atmosphere of our homes. When we go around with a positive mindset, when we go around with mindset that is empowering, it's going to make our home to be more peaceful, more stable. But when we go about with maybe this empowering mindset, or mindset that is not positive, it's going to have a negative effect on the climate, the atmosphere of our home. So we should pay close attention to our thoughts, close attention to our mindset, because it has a way of affecting the emotional situation of our home. Now, also as parents, we must also remember and understand that we as parents, we set the tone for emotional energy in our home. Yes, we set the tone for emotional energy in our home. Negative or stress thoughts create tension. We set the tone for emotional energy in our home. You find out that most times as a parent, when you're happy, oh, thank you for joining us live. Please drop a comment so we'll know you're here. You find out that as a parent, sometimes when you're happy, you find out that, oh, thank you, sir, for joining us. You're welcome. We find out that most times as a parent, when you're happy, you find out that your children are likely to be happy. Sometimes you find out that when you have a different emotion, your children sometimes might just want to react or act in that same emotion you have. So we as parents, we set the tone for emotional energy in our home. So you must also remember that negative or stressed thoughts create tension. When we go about with negative thoughts, when we go about with, oh, Mrs. Okumeri, thank you for joining us live. You're welcome, ma. When we go about with negative or stressed thoughts, it creates tension in our homes. So as a parent, what kind of thoughts are you modeling? What kind of thoughts are you moving around with? Are you going around the house with negativity? Are you negative? Do you speak everything in the home? Are you just being negative? The truth is that when we are negative, when we are stressed out, when we have that kind of negative thoughts or stressed out thoughts, it has a way of creating tension in our homes. That is why sometimes we find out that some of our homes, we are tensed. The children are tensed. The children are scared. They don't want to talk to us as parents. They just don't want to come and talk to us, because sometimes they just don't understand the way we are going to react. Because we as parents, we set the tone for the emotional atmosphere of our home. So if you have a positive mind, if you have a positive thoughts, if your mind is not stressed, you find out that the emotional climate of your home will be stable. But as parents, when we are calm, When we have constructive thoughts, it helps us to create a harmonious environment. So when you have a calm thought or a calm mindset, you find out that your environment will be calm. There will be harmony in the home. There will be harmony in the environment. When you are a calm parent, when you are the type of parent that, okay, your children, it's very easy for the children to come talk to you and express themselves, you find out that there will be harmony in the home. But when you go about with negativity, when you're stressed, when you go about the home with negative mindset, you just create tension in your home, which affects the emotional stability and the emotional atmosphere of your home. Then as parents, we must always remember that we have to be mindful as parents. We have to be calm. We have to even model the right emotional stability. We have to model the right thoughts. We have to model the right mindset for our children to emulate. We have to be in that constant state of observing our thoughts. It's just like being a watchman or a watchwoman, if there's something like that. Being a watchman or a watchwoman for our thoughts, watching our thoughts, always seeking out for our thoughts. What am I thinking? Why am I thinking this? Why did this negative thought come into my mind? Why did I have to think this? Am I stressed? Am I tired? We have to constantly watch our thoughts, because when we watch our thoughts, we get to this point of self-awareness. We become aware of the thoughts that come into our mind. We become aware of the thoughts that come, and when they do come. Sometimes it could be something that has triggered that thoughts. So we become aware, and when we are aware, we are in a better position to respond to that particular thoughts. And when we respond to our thought in a positive way, thereby, or in the long run, it will help us to have a positive atmosphere in our homes. So as parents, the way we carry ourselves emotionally, the way we react to things, the thoughts we go around the house with, it has a way of affecting the emotional climate of our home. So as a parent, instead of saying something like, I can't handle this chaos. For example, there's chaos in the home. For example, your child has done something, your child is just, all over the place. The child has not been managing his or her emotions, very well. Instead of you lashing out as a parent, instead of you saying, oh my God, I can't handle this chaos, instead of you saying things like, oh, you're just stubborn, instead of you saying things like, oh, you just cannot listen, why don't we begin to say things like, okay, how can we help you? How can we work together to help you? Okay, I can see you're stressed, I can see you're tired, how can we help you? So those are the kind of phrases we are encouraged to use as parents. We are not expected to lash out. We are not expected to always act negative. Rather, we should look for solution, because when we do that, our children are watching. It's very easy for them to emulate. Then as parents, we must focus on positive thoughts. We must focus on being calm. We must focus on connecting with our children. We must even focus on connecting with ourselves, because sometimes we are not even connected with ourselves. Sometimes we find it difficult to sit with ourselves, but we must get to that point. We must get to that stage where we connect with ourselves, where we focus on being calm, where we focus on growing our thoughts, improving our thoughts on a daily basis. Because when we do that, the emotional climate of our home is going to be positive. It's going to change for the better. Now, what are some of the practical steps we can begin to implement to help us to have a positive mindset? What are the things we can start to do from today as parents to help us to have a positive mindset, to improve our thought pattern, so we can start to think of more positive things? One of the things we can start to do as parents is to journal. Our thoughts. Journal your thoughts each day. Journal your thoughts in the morning. Journal your thoughts at night when you're about to go to bed. Journal the thoughts that came to your mind, and journal, why did this thought come into my mind? Why was I thinking of this thing? Was there a particular emotion that triggered this thought? Was there a particular situation or action that triggered this thought? That is what we have to do. We must journal our thoughts, and we must reflect on these our thoughts and find out, how has this my thoughts affected the way I reacted today? How has this my thoughts affected my actions maybe in relating with other people around me. So it's very important we journal our thoughts, because when we journal, we'll be more self-aware. We'll put ourselves in that position of being aware of the thoughts that come into our minds. Another thing we can start to do is that we should express gratitude. We should shift from thinking of always complaining of the wrong things that are not going on well. Rather, we should focus on the positive. Instead of complaining as a parent, instead of you saying things like, oh my God, you don't always get things right. Instead of you using phrases like, you just make a mistake. I don't even understand what you're doing. You're slow, you're not fast. Why not we shift from that and begin to express gratitude, being grateful for everything we have, being grateful for the gift we have, being grateful for the things we have around us. Because the truth is that when we intentionally practice gratitude, it somehow shifts our thoughts, it shifts our mind from always focusing on the negative. Another thing we can begin to do that can help us in our mindset is to affirm ourselves positively. We should affirm ourselves as parents positively daily. Affirm yourself, affirm your children, affirm everyone around you positively, because affirmation helps to reinforce new thoughts. For example, we can say things like, I'm a patient parent, I grow every day, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to improve, I can do this, I can get it, I can stretch myself. When we begin to affirm ourselves, we begin to stretch ourselves. When we begin to tell ourselves that I can grow, I can do this, I've got this, you find that it takes away negativity. It takes away we being negative, and we not appreciating ourselves. So we should practice the act of affirming ourselves on a daily basis. Then finally, as parents, we should be mindful. We should practice mindfulness. We should take moments of stillness. We should sit with ourselves. Most times we don't want to sit with ourselves. Most times as parents, we are busy, we are working, we are taking care of the children, we are everywhere. We find it difficult to sit with ourselves, to be still. But the truth is that if we must be mindful, we must be still. We must sit with ourselves. We must have conversations with ourselves. Another thing we can do is to practice deep breathing. When we are stressed, when we are tired, even occasionally, even if you don't feel stressed or tired, we can practice deep breathing anywhere. You can sit down and practice deep breathing, because it helps to clear our minds, especially when we feel overwhelmed as parents. Deep breathing, sitting still with ourselves, help us to clear our minds. So these are some of the things we can begin to do as parents that can help to improve our thoughts, improve our minds, that can help us to go around with positive thoughts and positive mindset, because it has a way, our mindset has a way of affecting the atmosphere in our home. So finally, as parents, you must remember that our mindset is the foundation of the behavior and interaction of our children. So the mindset you have as a parent, the thought you have as a parent, is the foundation for the interaction and the behavior of your child. If you want your child to interact with you, if you want to see the good behavior in your child, it starts with your mind. It starts with the thoughts you go around the house with or around your home with. When we take control of our thoughts as parents, when we actively work to cultivate a positive and a growth-oriented mindset as parents, when we begin to improve on ourselves as a parent, you find out that we're more supportive. We'll create a more nurturing environment for ourselves and for our children. We'll be connected with our children, and we'll create the right space for our children to thrive. So in summary, our mindset, our thoughts affects the atmosphere in our home. It affects the way our children react or relate with us. It even affects the way our husbands or our wives relate and interact with us. So we should go around with positive thoughts. We should go around with positive mindsets. And I did explain, we can start to do this by journaling, affirming ourselves, being mindful, being present in the moment. We should go about working intentionally on our thoughts, because our thoughts affect everything around us. So thank you for joining me today. I believe you've got value for your time. I really do appreciate your time. Please remember to pre-order my upcoming book. The link has been pinned down here. Yes, the link is pinned down here in the comment section. Please pre-order. It's a book you'll be blessed to have. It's a book that encourages or talks about our renewal, how we can be renewed as parents, how we can grow. Buy for yourself, buy for your loved one, buy for your family and friends. You can give someone as a gift. It's a beautiful gift. Oh, we have someone else that just joined us live. Thank you for joining us live. It's a beautiful gift you can get for someone, yourself and your family members. Please remember to pre-order. And thank you for joining us today. You can always catch replay if you were not opportune or available to join us live. Until I come your way next time, remember to be renewed in your mind. Remember, everything starts from the mind, our thoughts, our mindset, everything. It has a way of affecting everything around us. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate your time. Till I come your way next time, see you and take care of yourself. Bye.